All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and also to their elders, the men that taught them. I pray the Lord have peace, blessings, and mercy upon the households of the hopeful elect. This is the brother Shamar Wan from the Great Millstone Houston Church. And real quick, as I'm on my way to work, I was just meditating on something I was reading last night about how literally our suffering is going to turn into our salvation if we endure it. And that comes from reading Sirach chapter 2, really starting at the top one down in Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. All right, but real quick, I want to read a little bit from those two books, and I pray this lesson be edifying. So, Sirach chapter 2 and 1 first. It reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." And this is pretty much like the introduction on how to set your mind whenever, you want to follow Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, unlike Christianity teaches, as soon as you turn to serve the Lord, life is going to be better and straight uphill. That's not the case from church. So that is not the case when you serve the true living God and his son in truth and sincerity. All right. It says, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set your heart aright, meaning your mind, your heart, your lab in the Hebrew. Set your heart or your mind aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. You have to have that mindset, because the flesh is going to want to move. The flesh is not going to want to endure, how does it say? That suffering. The flesh doesn't love to suffer. All right. But that's what has to be applied and thought upon heavily, so you can make that move. Okay. Constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. Don't give up on having hope in the Lord that he'll be able to turn the situation around, or even thinking about yourself. Do not have that doubt to creep in and act like there's another way out of the suffering. There's another way to endure. The only way for us to endure, let me read the next verse 3. Cleave unto him. Cleave unto him. How? Through prayer, through reading these scriptures, continually listening to the videos, surrounding yourself by the body if you're able to, but constantly enduring and cleaving unto him. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Not going to the bottle, not going back to the world, not going, to any old other way that maybe used to be a little comfortable when you suffer. But now this suffering is for the Lord's sake now, because why? We are serving the Lord. All right. So it says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So if you hang in there, if you suffer it and endure, there's a reward at the end. All right. And ultimately, salvation. We want to be saved. Enduring and all of these temptations ain't for no reason. The Lord knows that. It's to prove us. That's why, James, the 1st chapter, is a good chapter to read too. But let's read verse 4. Sirach 2 and 4 says, whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So the Lord is letting you know already right now, rough times are ahead. So don't be surprised whenever they come. Like the scriptures say, fiery trials. That's expected for those that serve Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Things are going to happen purposely to test us. All right. And within the test, like I mentioned, James, the 1st chapter, that's an opportunity that is an opportunity for us to grow. As it tells you in the book of James, what is that? the first chapter, starting at the second verse. All right. Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And pretty much the Lord is getting us, or the Lord is preparing us, to be, hold on. So like I'm getting to my destination. The Lord is preparing us to be something that he wants. All right. And the Lord likes men, brothers and sisters that endure, without breaking, go through hard times without breaking. The Lord, is pleased with those that cleave unto him, that remain faithful, even though it don't look, so expecting. Just thinking about how he dealt with Moses, that type of mindset, how the Lord said, or the Israelites were stirred up whenever they realized the Egyptians came back after them, whenever they were, damn near by the sea with nowhere to go. And Moses told them, nah, look, bro, the Lord is going to be our salvation, but just having that type of mindset, because the shit ain't comfortable. It's not going to be easy being shaped and formed into something that's acceptable and pleasing unto the Heavenly Father. We coming out of filth. All right. It says, believe in him and he will help thee, order thy way aright, and trust in him. All right. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. And let me hit Wisdom of Solomon 3 real quick. So with all that, serving the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation, giving you the blueprint on what to do no matter what. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and 1. But righteous, Salaki, that's in the GNT. Let me go to the KJV, Salaki. Wisdom of Solomon. All right, here we go. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and 1, it says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. Right here, verse 4, it says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. Salaki, here, verse 5, here we go. It says, in having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For God proved them and found them worthy for himself. So even, in moments that are, in the face of death, so to speak, right? It says, verse 5, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for God proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. So just like it said in Sirach, acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity, roughly paraphrasing. The Lord likes that. The Lord requires that from us all. And we all finna be faced with it. We dealing with it right now, but ultimately, that time of testing that's going to try everybody upon the world. And not everybody has that mindset to endure no matter what. And understanding that the reward is after the endurance. But just thinking about it on my way to work, we're in hell, but guess what? If we endure, there's a reward waiting for us. And ultimately, the Lord is going to allow us to be something that he really likes and he finds acceptable. Especially the only way with that possible is having faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You got to include Yahweh Shah in that. So I'll end it there. I pray this was edifying, and Lord willing, till the next time I say shalom.